Our big story tonight at 5 is the trial that has Milwaukee's attention. Investigators found the clothes Maxwell Anderson wore on his date with Sade Robinson, but never found all the clothing Anderson was seen wearing after prosecutors say he torched her car.
Bill Miston joins us as we get a look inside Anderson's apartment for the first time. Bill?
Yeah, and that coming as investigators searched Anderson's home and recovered a number of knives, as well as a gun, but none pointing to a possible murder weapon, and no human blood connecting Robinson to the house, and none of Robinson's clothing. But Robinson was inside.
Did you locate anything of note in the basement?
We did.
Such as?
We located the Carhartt shirt that he was seen wearing on video earlier.
Investigators searched Anderson's Southside home at least 3 times, finding the shirt Anderson seen wearing late on April 1st, when he and Sade Robinson leave Dukes on Water.
To your knowledge, is that the last time ever that Sade Robinson is seen in public on video?
Yes.
Anderson gets into Robinson's car, and she drives off towards Anderson's home.
By the time that we got to April 4th, we had the information regarding Sade's Life 360, so we were able to track her movements.
Investigators searched Anderson's house and found a fresh load of laundry with the Carhartt shirt, as well as the red plaid jacket in his living room. But the clothing Anderson seen wearing boarding a bus near where Robinson's car was found torched on April 2nd.
To your knowledge, has the camouflage backpack ever been found?
It is not.
To your knowledge, have the shoes that are pictured in Exhibit 466 been found?
No.
A sheriff's detective said more than 50 knives were found and collected as possible evidence, and a gun. The state crime lab tested any possible stain for blood or DNA, but found no connection to Robinson.
A normal residence, but a bit messy.
Nor any of Robinson's clothing, most of which was found in her burned car. Prosecutors say Anderson killed Robinson at some point after she drove to his house, her body dismembered.
It clicked that might be related to this case, what I saw in that cart, but I was still doubtful because DPW went through that alley and picked up all the garbage.
A week after Robinson was last seen alive, MPD helped in the case and canvassed Anderson's neighborhood, searching garbage carts. A detective spotted some clothing but didn't think anything of it, only to realize days later it matched the jacket Anderson was seen wearing on the bus.
To be clear, there is no video of Max Anderson putting that sweatshirt in a trash can.
That's correct.
Police recovered more surveillance video of Robinson's car leaving Anderson's house early April 2nd, and what prosecutors say is Anderson returning to his home. Now, prosecutors said during opening statements that DNA found on that jacket is both of Anderson as well as Robinson. That has not yet been entered into evidence, but would anticipate a state crime lab analyst to testify to that. A detective, though, testified today that a photo found on Anderson's phone shows Sade Robinson inside his apartment on his couch. That has yet to be entered into evidence in the case. We also got a lot of new video evidence this afternoon. Some of that video evidence shows is from around Anderson's home the night that Sade Robinson is last known to be alive. We'll have that coming up for you at 6. Reporting live, Bill Miston, Fox 6 News.
Bill, thank you. And Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson is here with us tonight with analysis from week 2 of the Anderson trial.
We saw, as Bill mentioned, a lot of pictures inside the house and a lot of discussion about that reddish couch.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
Yeah, why so much emphasis on that?
Well, you heard Bill just reference it. It was talked about in opening statements, and then we had someone actually testify to it today, that there is a photograph on Maxwell Anderson's phone that shows Sade Robinson on that couch. We haven't seen that photograph yet. We expect we're going to, but they kept talking about the color of the couch, the sort of shiny redness of the couch, the fact that it had sort of a worn look to it, the ottoman next to it. I think they're setting it up because you imagine if there is a photo, it's probably tightly cropped where you don't see the environment of the room. You're going to see sort of the red of the couch. I think they wanted the jury to see, what does that couch look like? And when we see this photo, does it look like that couch? Because if so, Sade Robinson was there. It proves she was in the apartment or the house that night.
And Brian, prosecutors found inside something else, 51 knives.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, nothing, Bill. You saw some of those knives. Now, the one is like this. It got the bird face on it. It looked like maybe he was a collector of knives. That one was on a shelf right next to the couch. It's not saying he used it because there was no blood evidence on it. Nothing. But there's that knife. That's right on that couch, by the way. There was knives. There were knives in the kitchen. There were knives in the bedroom. There were knives even in a thing that was sewn onto the arm of a chair. It was like old pants that had pockets, and there was a knife in there. So he seemed to have a lot of knives. We know that a medical examiner said it looked like the cuts to Sade Robinson's body may have been done with a knife, not with power tools as we originally suspected. So is that a suggestion that maybe some other knives that are missing might have been part of this?
And what the state is doing is you're kind of building up to the aha moment, which they have not really gotten to.
Yeah.
And one of the aha moments might come with the clothing. We're talking about two different sets of clothing that he was spotted in a very short time frame.
Well, in particular, we've seen that clothing he was seen wearing when he was leaving the scene of the car fire and then going to the bus. Well, here today, you've got a detective who pulls out this hoodie, this sort of jacket/hoodie. He says this is the same one that Maxwell Anderson was wearing after the fire and on the bus ride back to his house the morning after his date with Sade Robinson. There he is sitting in what they say is the same hoodie. Here's what's interesting, though. The detective didn't actually go and pull that out until April 9th, which is a week after the leg was found. The garbage people had already come by. So what's it still doing in the garbage? Well, it was the only thing in a garbage can 2 doors down. That's the can 2 doors down from Anderson's house. Prosecutors are basically saying the garbage people came by and probably didn't feel much in it and just let it go. But the defense is saying, look, Anderson was in jail. So if the garbage had come and gone, somebody else must have put that in there.
And it was empty, or seemed empty, because the woman whose garbage can it is
was on vacation. That's right, yeah.
So, all right.
So interesting.
So much more to come, obviously. Yeah. It's been a long case, but there's more.
Well, thank you, Brian. It'll be interesting because our legal expert and criminal defense attorney, Julius Kim, from the law firm of Kim and Lavoie, is going to join Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson on Wisconsin Live Desk today to discuss the trial. And he's going to be here tonight at 9 and 10 to give us some context about all the things that we just told you about. He's going to break down the key points from court earlier today.
And as the Anderson trial stretches on this week, we're streaming it gavel to gavel on Fox Local, the Fox Local mobile app, and the Fox 6 News YouTube channel. Also on Fox Local, you can review any previous day's testimony. You can check out the latest exhibits that have been put into evidence and check out so much more in-depth coverage of the murder of Sade Robinson that was done by our Bria Jones leading up to this trial.